I just watched the premiere of Hulu's How to Die Alone starring Natasha Rothwell, and I'm going to give it 3 episodes before I decide whether I'm keeping it or tossing it. I didn't laugh once during the premiere. Even worse, by the time I finish the episode, I'm of the opinion that Melissa is an asshole, which is fine, but I'm worried that I'm not receiving the character that they're setting out to write. So Melissa's whole thing is that, like, she's downtrodden, she's 35, single, fat, because she said that. Just basically down and out. She is not empowered. She worries that she's of the opinion that nobody knows who she is. But over the course of the episode, I just see her as entitled and very self-centered, because the examples they gave of like people like not being there for her were things that I just feel like it's not that big of a deal. So, spoiler alert. First of all, she goes to the hospital and doesn't have an emergency contact. Why not? You have your friend who we met at the top of the episode. Why isn't he your emergency contact? No family, nothing. She said that her family thinks she's a loser or whatever, but we're talking about an emergency contact. Get out of your feelings and put down an emergency contact. She put down herself, self-centered, and I would love if part of her journey was her realizing that like there's a side of her that's like quite unpleasant. Like her being downtrodden is to the point of absurdity, and this show is absurd. She threw up on a dead woman. It's absurd, which is fine, but it's whether does the absurdity work or not. And I'm saying that Natasha's whole like reason for existing, reason why I should be watching her, I did not connect with it. I don't feel bad for her. So she doesn't have an emergency contact. And so then when she calls her friend, I think his name is Rory, he doesn't pick up. And she's like, the one person who's supposed to be there for me didn't pick up. And it's like, well, he's not your emergency contact. So you guys never had that conversation. And he doesn't know you're in the hospital. And he has a habit of like abandoning her because she's told him, like, if you abandon me again, like, I'm never going to talk to you again for real this time. And it turns out, it seems that he did lie to her because he had a date and he picked a date over his friend. So he's an asshole. She's an asshole. And then she ends up calling her brother. That was the most interesting scene in the episode for me, was the brother revealing to us that she is self-centered. She's a moocher. She only calls him when she needs something. He's always taking care of her. So she's not this like, like neutral actor in her life. She's a burden on her brother. She like does some stuff to herself, like not having a damn emergency contact and letting that person know they're in emergency contact. Then there's the whole thing with the ex-boyfriend. We don't know how long they were together, but he moved on because, as her friend said, she like turned him down or let him go or whatever, and now she's super sad because I don't know what he was supposed to do. Like, come back. I'm so not interested in that storyline of like he's moved on and maybe he'll realize she's the one. I'm not in the mood for a storyline like that. But yeah, she's very much an asshole, and I hope that part of her storyline is, yes, learning to live, but also coming to terms with the part that she plays in her own life and the part that she plays in other people's lives. Her brother called her out on her, being a burden, but she just, yelled at him right back because that's her brother. But yeah, I'm not seeing, I don't think I'm seeing the victim of life and circumstances that they want me to be seeing. But if y'all have checked out How to Die Alone episode 1, because I haven't watched the others yet, if you've watched episode 1, let me know your impression of Melissa and her world that we've been introduced to.